Hey, welcome back to video number 4. So in the last video we were doing a little bit of housekeeping, showing you how to get your channel set up. We've done all that, showed you how to set up a custom URL. So now that you have your channel set up, obviously we're going to get to the good stuff, how to properly upload videos and get them so that they're starting to rank. But what I want to do first really quickly is we talked about keyword research, and so I just kind of randomly chose the keyword Irvine divorce attorney. If I were to go into just YouTube and search for Irvine divorce attorney, I want to see what I'm going to get here. Let's just kind of glance at this. So what you can do is you can kind of gauge competition level, but it's going to be actually a lot more difficult to figure out, what's the real level of competition. I mean, definitely the age of someone's video matters. The numbers of views can matter. Numbers of likes on the video, comments on the video, that sort of thing, subscribers to their channel. All that stuff can really matter. But this doesn't tell me anything, right? If I type in Irvine divorce attorney, there's a wide range of things. I mean, it's looking like, she's winning because maybe her video has a few more views than other people's. It's been up for 3 years, but that's not exactly true, right? Because drop down to over here, and in the number 4 spot, this guy's video has been around for 4 years and has 653 views, while hers has 178 views. So why is this video ranking, in a lesser position than her video, which has been up less time? And certainly we could go in, if we went into her channel, let's see, does she have more videos? I'm just going to hit mute on my stuff here so it doesn't play anything automatically. And maybe she has more videos, for instance. It's hard to say what's going on really compared to this other guy's video. So we can click on here and let's just glance real quick. So he's got a decent number of videos, it looks like. And again, remember, the number of videos that you have equals the authority of your channel, and that's one component of it. We'll talk in another video about how you can actually go out and increase the authority of your channel, outside of having lots and lots of videos. But what I like to do is, rather than go at this thing completely blindly by just typing in my keyword and trying to go one by one, the top several results and figure out why is it that they're ranked here versus somebody else who looks like they're in a similar position ranked here. What I like to do is, there's a tool called TubeRankJeet, G-E or J-E-E-T. I think that's the guy's last name. I'm not sure. And there's a link to this below the video. I strongly recommend picking up this tool. I use it every single time because what it does, very similar to Longtail Platinum keyword research tool that I showed you in the other video, this analyzes the competition on a real basis. So you're not guessing how easy or hard it is to rank a video. Just like Longtail Platinum would look at a keyword and figure out on Google how easy or difficult is it going to be to get something on the page 1 of Google. Are there opportunities to sneak in? So you can type in a keyword and it'll show you a difficulty level. So let me just demonstrate this really quickly, and why I think it's a really important tool to have in your toolkit. Irvine divorce attorney. Make sure I spelled that right. I think I put 2 or 3 T's. Can't see straight this morning. Okay, Irvine divorce attorney. So here's what you can see. Here's the competition. It'll show you the top 5 videos, and it's going to show you the ranking difficulty of the 1st position and the ranking difficulty of the 5th position, with the assumption that you might sneak somewhere in between or even number 1. Well, you can see the ranking difficulty is 0. Okay, so in some cases, if you go to some of these huge affiliate types of keywords or health keywords, diet keywords, the ranking difficulty sometimes in the number 1 position might be 100%. Sometimes 1 through 5, 100%. So the point is it's going to be very difficult to sneak in there. But you can see with local, ranking difficulty 0%. Well, why is that? Let's go to the analysis. And what it does is I can actually click on this and it'll tell me what's going on a little bit. I can see the description right here, or see a portion of the description. I can see their tags that they're using. And what I also like to do is, you can actually go back to the competition tab, click here, and it should take me over to the video itself. And if I click on show more, look how short this description is right here. This description is really, really basic. It doesn't have much to it, and I'm going to show you why having a very long, detailed description can help you tremendously. The other thing that I'm noticing right now is her video is 1 minute 54 seconds long, so that may be helping her versus, let's go back to Two Brain Cheat, and let's look at this one here in the number 2 position. Let's look at length of video. So this one's a little bit, is only 1 minute long. Let's look at their description. Now this description is obviously much more filled out. You can see all this keyword stuffing going on, and we'll talk about that, good and bad, whether it's helpful or not helpful. This is a blatant example of lots of keyword stuffing, and you can do all this stuff, but at the end of the day, unless you have a system to go out and get that video ranked on Google for all these different cities and keywords, it doesn't really matter that much. So this person has done a better job, at least, at lengthening the description of the video, but the video itself, is shorter, so that may be a component of it. And I'll tell you right now that oftentimes video length can be a definite component of ranking. So that's not to say that you want to have videos that are always 5 minutes long or whatever, but when you're doing local stuff, to the extent you can have a 3 or 4 minute video and not bore your audience, that's great. Now you have to always weigh sort of the difference between getting the ranking and boring your audience, because you don't want people bailing out. So short, punchy videos have their place. But if they're too short and too punchy, 1 minute long, for instance, when you know that the top competition, their videos say 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you have to take that into consideration, because you may not outrank them if you just put up a little 30-second video. So you want to do a little bit better than them in most cases. And it's not always possible to do, depending on the type of video that you're using. If you're using a slideshow style video, maybe that video only lasts for 1 minute, and you can make it last longer, and I'll show you how. But does that end up boring the audience? So that's the sort of thing you need to look for. So what this is doing is it's looking at the competition, top 5 spots, telling you how easy or difficult it is going to be to rank, and it's basically saying there's 0% difficulty. You could get into the number 1 spot. And then from there, I like to dive into looking at the individual videos, not necessarily watching them, but trying to figure out a little bit more about why they're on top. Is this video longer than the next one? What's inside of their description box? And of course you could do that by hand, but what I'm going to show you next will make you not want to ever do this by hand again. When I say by hand, I mean going into the YouTube site and looking at each individual video and writing down some stats about it. This is doing all the work for you. And what I like to do is go to the analysis tab. And what it's going to do is it's going to start to give you a score of, how you're doing. And you want it to be at or near 100%, depending on the difficulty level we saw in the competition tab. Now we saw the difficulty level was 0, but we still want to try to get a score of 100. And the way that score is made up are three components. The video title, so the length of your video title and using your keyword in the title. And then your video description, which is going to be made up of a number of different components that we'll talk about. And then the tags. And where this tool comes in really, really handy is it gives you all these tags that everybody's using. Essentially, instead of you having to go out and figure out, well, what are the tags that are sort of in common to all these Irvine divorce attorney videos, this is going out and it's pulling out suggested tags, and it'll say high competition, high value tags, and then long tail tags. And this allows me to save a ton of time because I can just start clicking on these tabs and it'll add them right here. So watch, I can just go Irvine divorce attorney, Irvine divorce lawyer. This makes no sense. So this is a kind of a bogus tag. I'm not sure what that is. Sometimes you'll see repeated tags, but I might put divorce attorney, Orange County is the actual county. Child support, Orange County family law firm. Let's see, what else would I do? Maybe some surrounding areas like Tustin, a reverse of the term divorce attorney Irvine, divorce lawyer Irvine, best divorce lawyers, divorce attorneys. And what you want to do is basically get as many of these as possible in there. You have room for 500 characters, not 500 tags, but essentially 500 characters, I believe. So you'd want to put some, additional types of tags that you find in there. Here's just divorce lawyer. We've already used Irvine divorce lawyer and attorney. Anaheim's a very nearby city. Santa Ana's a nearby city. I would probably put in child custody, domestic violence. These are kind of LSI supporting tags that are going on that can help you get ranked for additional items. So even though I'm going to have Irvine divorce attorney as my main keyword that I'm trying to rank, well, who's to say that I might not get picked up for Irvine child custody lawyer because I have child custody in there, child custody lawyer. And that's a real possibility, especially when there are lower competition videos out there. So we can start getting ranked for lots of things. But it's very important to have these tags filled out. Now, there's some debate about this. There are people who will go out and rank videos where they don't do really any tags and they just keyword stuff. They put the keywords in here. And there's good and bad to that. My fear always is that eventually Google may crack down on that and may see that as, being extremely spammy and devalue my video. Now, with that said, I do use it sparingly, but I do see a lot of people who will put things in the video description like, other keywords that helped you find this video, and then they list, a laundry list of keywords, really in an attempt to get the video ranked for lots and lots of variations of terms. And it can work, definitely. It's just, to me, it's not necessarily a long-term strategy. And it could continue to work for years. I don't know. But just knowing Google and knowing that Google owns YouTube and knowing that they are always on the hunt for spammy stuff and SEO people out there trying to use techniques to rank, whether it's a website, a video, or whatever, you have to be somewhat careful. So use that at your own risk. And that's not to say that I don't use it, but I do use it fairly sparingly. I don't put, like we saw in that Orange County divorce lawyers video a minute ago, I'm not going to put 500 keywords in there. I'm going to put an actual description with an article, put a few keywords in there, and then I'll show you some techniques of things that you definitely want to do. One thing I will mention is if your main keyword is going to be Irvine divorce attorney, put that as your first tag. Always make sure that tag is in there. Don't ever forget to put that. So even if you don't see it here where you can actually click on it, make sure that you write it in, separate it with a comma. Your tag needs to be there. So let's get my score. Right now I'm only at 28%. And it's what this program, TubeRankG, is going to tell me is please add a title, please add a description, and then it'll start refining it even more, saying you can add more words to your title or you can add more to your description. Right now, I can add more tags. So I might do some more surrounding cities, just to kind of round this out a little bit. Lake Forest, these are all surrounding cities until I get to around 500. Let's do mediation attorney. And now I'm at 508 out of 500. So I'm over a little bit, and I'll show you how to correct that in a minute. But the next thing I'm going to want to do is come up with a title. So I'm always going to want to use my main keyword first, Irvine Divorce Attorney. Just like a website, you'll want to use your main keyword in the first position. In a title tag on a website, that always gets the most value, whatever your first keyword is in your title tag. From there, what I like to do is get some sort of variation on it, or I'll also add in things like call, because I'm counting on this getting ranked and people seeing my phone number and picking up the phone and calling. Now, there is some talk out there that Google may start to devalue sites that have phone number in the title tag, so be a little careful here. It still seems to be working okay. So you could put call, and then your main phone number here. I'm probably going to steer clear from that right now just because of the talk out there that may get devalued. So I might put Irvine Divorce Attorney, best divorce lawyer, Irvine, California. And then I'd probably put some sort of call to action. Let's see. Or use some sort of emotionally driven, almost copy to pull somebody in. How to, let's see, stop your endless worrying today. Okay? Because what I don't want to do is just have keywords. Just keywords are not compelling for somebody to want to watch your video. You want to have something that's going to make them want to watch the video, which is this part right here. But at the same time, the video title is going to act like a title tag. And that's what's going to allow us to get ranked, very well, not only in YouTube but in Google eventually. So you're going to want to have your keywords and a supporting keyword. It could even be an LSI type of keyword, whatever you want to do, and it could be a fairly long title tag. Now I'm going to get my score, and you'll notice that this is gone where it says title tag. Normally, if I have a very short title tag, so let me just show you real quickly. Let's say I got rid of this. Let me just copy it and then get rid of it. It may say you can still add, you can still extend the title a bit. And what it's doing is it's going out and looking at other people's titles and the length of my title in relation to other people's titles. So once I add that extra component, that goes away. So you can see TubeRankGeet is telling me step by step my score is going up to 63%, and it's telling me what I need to do to start to beat out some of these people. By telling me what their tags are, analyzing their videos, the length of the video, looking at what their description is in relation to what my description is. And so it becomes a very handy tool. And it's also what I consider to be a staging area. So I can create my entire video description and get it fully optimized right here before I ever upload my video, and then just copy it off of TubeRankGeet onto my YouTube title, description, and tags. So it's a staging area. So not only does it allow you to instantly analyze your competition, but it will allow you to tee this thing up so it's ready to go and give you a score while you're doing it. So it's going to show me once I get to 100%, I know I'm good to go and ready to upload my video. So what I want to do next is I got to create a description. So what I want to do is I always want to use my main keyword first. As the first thing that ever goes in my description, okay? Now, I could repeat this again, this how to stop your endless worrying, but somebody's already going to see that in my title tag. What I'd rather do is use this space for a call to action. Call 949 And let me get the phone number again here, because this is a tracking number, so I can't always can't remember it. 226-6917. So I'm going to go back here, call 226-6917, or, and then I'm going to say visit, and then I want to get the pick up the URL here and add that right here. Visit, and we'll try to get this on the same line if at all possible. And let me get rid of this slash. It'll allow me to do that for more information. And now the reason I want this to try to fit on 2 lines, maybe 3 max, is because when we go and we look at Google for, you know, we see a video that's on page 1, it's only going to show a portion of the description, typically 2 to 3 lines. And so we want to make sure that our URL is showing up and our phone number is showing up, so that somebody can very quickly decide, you know, hey, I'm going to call this person right from the video, or, you know, I can click through and go visit the site, that sort of thing. You want them to see all that information. The next thing that we need to do is we need to add just an absolute shit ton of content. There's no other way to say it. And the way I do this is usually I'll either have an article written, and so I should have an article here somewhere on divorce. So I would copy this. Now you're going to want to spin this, okay? Because if you're going to use it over and over again, you should spin it. And I use Spin Rewriter. We'll put a link to that below as well. This is a really great spinning tool that actually comes up with, you know, some really great variations for you, and does a really good job. So I can paste my original article into here, into Spin Rewriter, and then I can click the start rewriting process. Cool thing I like about this is there's some other software programs out there I'm not going to name that make it a lot more difficult. It's just they're not very intuitive programs, and they're a pain in the butt to use. Spin Rewriter is an online program versus an offline software program that I can just go to, paste my article, and then I can literally in just, I don't know, a minute or so put my settings together the way I want. One-click rewrite, you know, if I want all my synonyms correct, or if I'm willing to fudge on that a little bit, and, you know, it'll make my article a little less readable, but I want more variations of it. It just depends. So I set it to correct, and then start the one-click rewriting process. And this just takes a second to go through, and it's going to rewrite my article as a spun version. You'll see it'll say there are now billions of possible versions of my original article, all 99% unique on average. And then I'm going to go to continue to the final step. What it's going to do is it's going to show me my spun article. But obviously I don't want to use my spun article. What I want is to generate a unique version of that article. And I'd like to get it up above 90% if possible. Not totally critical for YouTube videos. And by the way, there's debate on whether you should use spinning at all. You know, spinning is falling out of favor for things like private blog network sites to create links back to your site. You know, it's more important on those types of sites to have original content. You know, if you have the time, energy, and money, and really money is not a huge issue, you could have individual articles written for each of your YouTube videos, unique content for each of your videos. But I typically will just use spun content for my YouTube videos. Now, one thing that I would want to do is extend this a little bit. So you can see this is 300 words. YouTube, I typically try to put about a 600-word article in there. So let me really quickly grab one more article. I'm going to hit pause and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Just want to make sure we're still recording. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is fill up the description as much as possible in YouTube, and they allow something like 600 to 800 characters or words. I'm sorry, and I only have 306 words. So what I want to do is combine two articles. So I'm going to go back to rewrite, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste two articles in here. So let's go for this divorce article 3 that I have, and then I'm going to grab my other divorce article 1, paste it here, and now it's going to say I've got 669 words, so that's much better. Now I will tell you, Spin Rewriter sometimes will get a little bit hung up when you put more than 300 or 400 words. It just takes a little bit longer because it's trying to create all these variations of all these different words, with the assumption that you're going to use it over and over and over again. And so 600 words can take a while to generate. So I'm going to hit the one-click rewrite settings, start the process, and this is where it'll typically take a little extra time. So let's let it just go through the process. But it is, while we're waiting on this, it's very important from a YouTube perspective to fill up that description, because most of your competition will not do that. Most of your competition will have 100 or 200 words of text, and that's really not enough. What this is doing, it's a well-written article that's been spun, obviously, but it's picking up all these LSI keywords, and it's really making that video almost like a little mini web page where we know it's about divorce because it has all these words that are related to divorce, and that can not only help the authority of that video, but eventually help you get ranked for lots and lots of different keywords for this video. So it's extremely important to fill up that description area. I typically like to do about 600 words of text, and then I fill it up even more with a few other things that I'm going to show you. So we're going to go to the final step. Here's my spun version. Again, I want to generate a unique version. This one's 90%, so that's great. So I'm going to copy that. Let's select all this, copy this text. I'm going to go back to BrainCheat. Again, this is my little staging area, and I'm going to paste it right there. Okay. So now we have the sort of the basics of what's needs to be done for a video that's going to be well optimized on page for YouTube. If you even just do this, you're going to beat out your competition, 90, 98% of the time. Because at a local level, people just aren't doing this that much. They're maybe getting the title tag portion right, but that's about it. They're not really doing tags very well. They are not, they're doing 100 words of description or 150 words of description, when what really matters is getting everything right, getting the title tag right, getting 600 plus words of description that's highly related to whatever it is you're talking about. Again, make sure it's spun or completely original. Getting the tags just right. A lot of these people aren't doing that. So you're going to have an edge just doing this part. Now I'm going to show you some other tricks that I picked up along the way. You're going to want to use your main keywords a few times during the as part of your description. So I just kind of sprinkle them in here, sometimes just as little titles. And again, is this keyword stuffing? Maybe a little bit, but I'm not going to do it 100 times. I'm probably going to do it 4 times. So that's 3. So I want to open and close with it and then drop it in 2 times throughout the description. So you can see how I did that. I'm going to close with it right here. I opened with it right here, and then I put it 2 times in my description. I've got it in my title tag. Now, what I'll do, we talked about this. This is entirely up to you. But sometimes people will put things like other searches that led, let's say that helped you find this video, and they might, add just a ton of keywords here. I probably won't. I might do something like Irvine family law attorney, just a couple select keywords that are related. Irvine child custody attorney, Irvine child support lawyer. So I'll mix it up a little bit. And, I might do 5, 10 of these keywords, so not dozens and dozens, because my tags are also going to help support some of this stuff. So I really don't need that, to get ranked necessarily. So a couple other things before we move on that are very, very important. People will sometimes scrape your video, whether it's for a private blog network or they insert it into a blog post. And that can only help you, okay? Now, don't expect it to happen as much at the local level, but, YouTube is an open community where we can go out and we can grab the embed code from any YouTube video and put it on our blog and share it that way. So there may be people that will do that to you. They'll grab your video and they'll either use it for their own private blog network or whatever. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that every time that happens, we have some information inside of our description area that's going to help us. So number one, we're going to want to put our channel in there, because what that's going to do is provide a link back to our channel if somebody embeds our video. So what I always do is you can put other searches related, and then just below that at the very bottom, before I close with my keyword, I will put subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And then I go grab the YouTube channel. Remember, I was saying that's why it's important to have your YouTube channel set up. And you want to have it as a URL. It's because it's, easier to find first off. It's not a bunch of jumbled numbers. Depending on, your business name, it can help. Like I've got the word family law in here. So all of that can provide additional support for my video. It's an additional, even though I'm telling you not to go out and create keyword-based channels, this business name happens to have the word family law in there, which is one of the main things that they practice, Irvine family law. So it can help my channel by providing a link back to my channel. In the event somebody scrapes this video and embeds it, okay? I would also want to have my Facebook page, like us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Now in this case, I've never set up a Facebook page for these guys. Just haven't done it at this point. But if you have a Facebook page, you put like us on Facebook and add your Facebook URL. You also put something where you want your actual video URL to be put in here as well. This video is located at, you could say that, and you're not going to know yet because you haven't uploaded it. YouTube has not assigned a URL to it, but you're going to come back and add that. And again, what this is doing is providing a link back to my channel and my video in the event somebody embeds it. And we'll talk about the importance of having embedded videos and having links back to your video. So this is basically just a technique that in the event somebody goes out and embeds the video, we automatically get a link back to our channel, which we want. We automatically get the embed, which I'll talk about that in another video, why that's super important in getting your videos embedded into blogs, Web 2.0s, things like that, for ranking purposes. But in the event somebody scrapes it, we're automatically going to get the embedded video from them because they're taking our video, putting it on their website. So in addition, why not help build your channel authority by having your channel inside of the description? So imagine your video sitting out on their blog in an embedded form. It's going to provide a link back to your channel. It's going to provide a link to your Facebook page. It's going to provide a link to your actual video. This video is located at, and we're going to drop the URL in here. Now, just like private blog networks and other even money sites, even local money sites. We want to surround our description and our links and things like that with other authoritative links that are not our links, right? So a lot of times we'll put things like Wikipedia links. So we might say divorce wiki. It doesn't have to be wiki. It could be really anything. But what we're doing is we're trying to up the authority of our video by, just like we would on a money site or something like that, or most definitely on a private blog network site where we have links back to our site. A lot of times we'll surround that with authority by having an outbound link to an authoritative source. In this case, Wikipedia. Could be anything that's authoritative. But it's going to help the authority of our video. And again, your competition is not going to know to do this kind of stuff. So I'm going to go back to TubeRankJeet, and I would have a spot here, for more information on divorce and family law visits, and I would drop in my Wikipedia link. Okay. Now I'm going to get my score, and it's going to give me 100%. And the reason it's giving me 100% is not only did I lengthen the description overall from the time I dropped in the article by adding this, but it looks for things like this. It wants you to put subscribe to the channel. It wants you to be social and have Facebook. You could even have, a Google Plus page located at. And in that case, I do have a Google Plus page, so I could put it there. Let's see. Let me just search for it really quickly here. Red Hill Family Law. Hang on a second. It's not showing up that way, but let's go to Irvine Divorce Attorney and go back to Maps, and it should be there. Okay, so here it is. So I would grab the Google Plus page. It's really the Google My Business page at this point, right? And I would grab this code here, and I would put it right here, like that. Again, upping my authority, upping my social proof. So YouTube is seen as a social, is almost a social networking type of site. It's a search engine and social networking site all in one, because people can network together. They can like videos, they can comment on videos, you can subscribe to other people's channels. And so, in addition to that, Google always likes social signals to begin with, right? So we've learned over the last couple of years in the SEO world that social signals can really help boost your page. If you're doing a website, by having things like Facebook shares and +1s on your Google Plus page, Facebook likes, that sort of thing. So what we're doing is we're being social here. We're putting some social factors inside of our description. Again, most of your competition is not going to do that. We see it from time to time, but not to the extent that we're doing it. We hardly ever see this kind of thing here, where somebody's actually taking the time to put an authoritative outbound link. So what we've done is we've staged everything to the point where we have a 100% score. Now, does this mean that we're going to get into the #1 spot? Not necessarily. It really depends on other factors that sometimes are out of our control. But I will tell you, one of the biggest factors I've seen that can help you is to increase the amount of time of your video to be in line with the #1 video. So we saw hers, and we'll double check this again. It was around 1 minute 34 seconds. We will want to have a video that's a little bit longer than that. Not much longer, but a little bit longer, to see if that helps. But we've done everything else 100% correctly. We've got all of our tags perfect. We've got a title tag that is exactly right with our keywords, and also something that helps it stand out so somebody wants to click on that video. We've got our keywords repeated a few times throughout, once at the top, once at the bottom, twice in between the description. We have some other keywords that we have added in as well. We don't overdo that. We have a call to action here and here that are visible within the first 2 to 3 lines, so we make sure that when that description shows up on Google, people see that without having to actually click over to your video and go into your description. Then we have an authoritative article that is all about divorce that has lots of LSI keywords sprinkled throughout there. We've got our social signals, all that good stuff. So essentially this video is ready to go. Now, what are we missing? We're missing the video, right? So you can see my process is do all this stuff first, then get your video. Maybe you already have your video created, that's fine. But what I want to know first is what my competition level is going to be based on the keyword that I chose. And then I go through the process of setting up all this stuff in TubeRankJeet, treating it sort of as an analytical tool to help me figure out what the competition level is like, being able to help me quickly grab selected tags that are based on other people's videos that we know are already ranking well, allowing me to put in all of my description and all of my stuff that I know needs to be in there, and then figuring out that I've basically done everything 100% perfect. When I look at the score, I'm at 100%. I know I'm in the best position possible to now move on to the video phase, to uploading the video. And so in the next video, we are going to actually walk through the importance of how you save a video on your hard drive to uploading it. Again, really almost into a staging area of YouTube before we go about actually publishing it and releasing it publicly, and then grabbing all this stuff from TubeRankJeet and dropping it in. Now this sounds overwhelming, but the cool part is once you've done it a few times, I can now get a video uploaded from start to finish in about 10 minutes, and many times have it ranking #1 on YouTube right after I hit publish, or shortly after I hit publish. So hopefully you're getting excited about this, and in the next video I'm going to show you some more of the mechanical types of steps we need to take to actually upload the video, and then take all this information we created here on this page and get it put in the proper spots of YouTube to allow us to publish it and get it ranked. So I'll see you in the next video.